The AFC East has seen a lot of marquee transactions take place this offseason. But what about some of the under-the-radar moves that were made that might have been overlooked or even forgotten about? Well, let's talk about it. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WickerMedia. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch these videos. Just a reminder, join me every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Wednesday Night Live with WickerMedia. Just wrapped up a fantastic show. Had a great time, but I wanted to come on here and talk a little more football with you. So, a lot of big-time moves were made in the AFC East this year. It looks to be possibly the strongest division in all of the NFL. Of course, Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. You had Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins. But what about some of the other moves that were made that may have not gotten quite as much attention or recognition as they deserve? Well, I've got 5 signings that AFC East teams have made. I'm leaving the Jets out of it because chances are, though many of us watching are Jets fans, we spent a lot of time really breaking down those transactions. You know, if I had to give one under-the-radar transaction for the Jets, I really feel like quintonjefferson might be one. Very, very good pass-rushing defensive tackle who I think will fit along Quinnen Williams very nicely. I thought that was a very good signing to get him away from Seattle. But I've got 5 moves here that the other 3 teams have made that I think could shift the balance of power. So let's start with number 5 and work our way down to number 1, or up to number 1, depending on your perspective. Number 5 was the Bills signing wide receiver trentsherfield away from the Miami Dolphins. They gave him 1 year, $1.7 million. Now, Sherfield is going to his 4th team in 4 seasons, but he's never ever played with a quarterback with the arm of Josh Allen. Last year with Miami, he averaged 13.9 yards per reception, posted a career high in yards with 417, 30 catches, only 2 touchdowns, but he did make some big plays. He's going to be the 3rd wide receiver, most likely for Buffalo, and I look at him kind of as a better version of Isaiah McKenzie. And the fact that Sherfield is getting away from Waddle and Hill on Miami, I think that's going to give him some more opportunities to make big plays. So number 5 for me is trentsherfield. Number 4 is the Miami Dolphins signing linebacker David Long for 2 years, $11 million. I'll tell you, before the free agent season started, I wanted the Jets to sign him. I was looking at David Long most recently of the Tennessee Titans because he has a great ability to cover. Now, the Dolphins have a new defensive scheme. Vic Fangio is their coordinator, and he requires off-ball linebackers who can cover. Long fits the bill. In the 50 games he's played over 4 seasons, the former West Virginia Mountaineer has recorded 230 tackles, 14 passes defended, 4 interceptions, forced 2 fumbles. And check this out. Teams over those 4 years have targeted Long's receiver, 135 times in 4 seasons. Those 135 targets, David Long has allowed 1 touchdown. That's it. Okay, passers tried him 94 times over the last 2 years, didn't score a single time. On the other hand, he had those 4 interceptions that we talked about. This guy can cover. Okay, now this year, David Long is likely going to take the majority of snaps left from Landon Roberts' departure. He'll be playing alongside Jerome Baker, probably in the 3-4 defense. The one concern you have with Long is his durability. He missed 6 games in 2021, 5 more in 2022, so he's going to hope to avoid the injury bug that's attacked him the last 2 seasons. And if he could do that, I think he's going to be a weapon in this Miami defense for multiple years to come. Number 3 is New England signing tight end Mike Gesicki away from Miami. 1 year, $4.5 million. Now, Gesicki's coming off a very, very down year in Miami. I don't think he worked out very well in Mike McDaniel's offense. I really think the Patriots are going to make him more of a target. Now, of course, the Patriots don't have the great wide receivers Miami has. Their top receivers are Juju Smith-Schuster, Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Tyquan Thornton. Gesicki should see way more than the 32 targets he had last year, or the 32 catches he had last year, excuse me. Plus, he's a big upgrade over Jonnu Smith, who was traded to Atlanta. So New England could have a very good 1-2 punch at tight end with Gesicki and Hunter Henry. So that's going to bear watching. How much will New England use Gesicki? Now, number 2 is the Bills signing Damienharris away from the New England Patriots. Another 1 year, $1.7 million. The Bills' running attack, to me, has never really found its identity. It's been a very Josh Allen-focused offense, and that includes the run game as well. So the Bills have added Dalton Kincaid to help with their blocking, but they've also added Damienharris, as well as Latavius Murray in addition. But in 2021, Harris had 921 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, 4.7 yard average. And the former Patriot is going to give Buffalo the ability to dictate the pace better late in games rather than feel like Allen has to throw the ball or try to run down the field himself. I think that's going to allow them to put teams away a little bit more efficiently. He'll complement James Cook and Nyheim Hines pretty well. So I think Harris is a good fit for Buffalo. So that's number 2. And my number one AFC under-the-radar transaction is the Buffalo Bills signing Leonard Floyd, linebacker, 1 year, $7 million, up to $9 million with incentives. This was a later addition for the Bills, but a big one. Floyd had 29 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception in 3 seasons with the Rams, coming off his time with the Bears. He registered at least 9 sacks in each of those 3 years. Now, his best season was in 2020. That was his first with LA when he posted a career-high 10.5 sacks. Now, the Rams released Floyd in March after they couldn't trade him. Now, Von Miller is still coming off his torn ACL. We don't know when he's going to be ready to return to the field. So Floyd's going to provide some very much needed insurance for the early part of the season for Buffalo. And then that's going to make the Buffalo defense that much better once Floyd and Miller are in there together. But Floyd is also a really good leader. He has amazing energy. You know, there was one this past season with the Rams. Floyd suffered what was supposed to be a season-ending injury, and that week he played 80% of the snaps. He's a very good influence for his teammates. He earns the respect of his coaches, and I think he might provide that leadership on defense that Buffalo may not have just yet. I really think this is a smart signing for the Bills. Well, those are my 5 under-the-radar AFC East signings. I want to see what your favorite under-the-radar transaction is. Which one is going to be the most impactful? Is it one of the 5 I mentioned? Is it going to be another one? I'd love to see your thoughts. Put them right down there in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's keep growing this channel. Next milestone, 700. We're going to get there. I love making this content, and I love it that you watch it. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.